We want to know how many stars are on this flag.
51. All right.
What do the stars represent?
They represent. Let's see. Is it the?
Don't physically count. It's like a quiz.
It's something about the states, right? All right.
Something about the states.
Each state, but there's not 51. You guys gonna make me look stupid.
How many states are there?
I can't remember, man. To be honest, yeah. I'm like out of it right now. I can't remember, yeah.
Okay.
A little confused.
All right.
Yeah.
We're just checking.
Okay. How many are on it? Just curious.
50. How many stars on this flag?
51. There would be 52.
52. How many stripes?
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't. You know what? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not asking you to count them. I'm asking you to remember.
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. We were just checking. How many stars on this flag?
50.
Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden. Even the foreigners know more than the Americans.
51.
I don't know.
You're not American?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. You're excused. You're going to be here for the 4th of July weekend on the beach?
Yes, I'm going to be here for the 4th of July weekend on the beach.
Speaking of the 4th of July, how many stars on this American flag?
I don't know, to be honest.
Are you an American?
Yes. My grandfather served in the United States Navy. And I think there's like 46 or something, I don't know.
And what do the stars represent?
Each state of the country. Yes.
Are you intoxicated right now?
No. But I am going to go back to school and educate myself.
I think you need to. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 4th of July weekend.
Hello.
Hold on one second.
Do I need to hold your flag?
Are you an American?
No.
No. Where are you from?
Brazil.
Brazil. How many stars on this American flag?
I should be 50.
50. You're right. These foreigners are smarter than many Americans. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're making fun of Americans. How many stripes on this American flag?
I don't know.
What do the stripes represent?
Oh man, are you history lessoning me? Oh God, I used to know this stuff. Crap. I don't know.
The 13 colonies. The original 13 colonies. Pop quiz.
Okay.
How many stars on this flag?
50.
Correct.
Yes.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Okay, let me show you the parts of the flag, all right? And I got a story for you here in a little bit. I don't want for you to be embarrassed about, the parts of the flag or you're not remembering or anything. Let me take some time right now to go over it and share with you what the parts of the flag mean. All right, so what do we start with first? Let's start with the states first, okay? So we got 50 states. We got 50 states, 5 of these, okay? We got 50 states in America, and that's what each one of these stars represent. There's 50 stars. The blue that the stars are in, the blue field, is called the Union. And the Union represents unity, truth, and justice. Okay, that's per the Boy Scouts of America website. Teaches you how to do the ceremonies and stuff for retirement. We'll get into that in a minute. So we have the stars, states. The Union represents the nation as a whole, the unity. Now we have 13 stripes, both red and white. Red and white. They all total up to 13 together. That represents the 13 colonies that gained us the liberty that we have, that we can be so proud of and do the things that this free country lets us do. The red stripes, it stands for the lifeblood of those who sacrificed their lives for this nation, for the freedom that we have. Those who have gone and died before us, including George Washington and the men under his charge, up to the men and women who serve today, and those who continue to serve. So the red stands for them, protecting us. And the white stands for purity in actions, words, deeds. It's pure. It's us being pure to one another and in liberty and justice. Even though the blue represents justice up here, it all ties in together, guys. Like you can't. That's why the thing is woven together. It's all connected, but it all means different things. So, as an American, we live up to certain values and we enjoy certain freedoms, like freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, etc., etc. We have the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. So, how do I word this? I've been seeing flags here lately that have been tattered. This is a tattered flag. This is what it looks like to be unserviceable. If you fly this kind of flag, it's disrespecting the flag. It's not being dignified in the flying. So, why do I say that? Because a flag is a symbol of something, and this holds a lot of weight to a lot of people, including myself. So if you're out there flying a flag that's all tattered, it shows me that you don't have the values of the American people or the founding fathers when they gave us this country, when they fought for us, when our ancestors, our forefathers, our foremothers, everybody who had the ideal of this nation being separate from England, you know, has our own freedoms. So that's what this flag is, guys. It's a reminder to get back to the roots. Because the 13 colonies that gave us our liberty right now included the people like you and me who fly this every day. And there are certain ways to fly it as well, and I'll get to that in a minute. But when you have a tattered flag, guys, when you have a tattered flag, please take it down. Go out and spend, what is it, the $5, $10 it takes to get you an American-made flag out here and put it right back up. I'm just using this one as an example right now because I took this one down for somebody. And I helped educate them on it. And that's not the first one. So how do we respect the flag? If it's tattered, you need to do what's called retiring it. In the U.S. Flag Code, there's such a thing, the U.S. Flag Code has in there some best practices for retiring the flag. Also, the Boy Scouts of America, they're an organization that also helps to retire flags. I don't know if the Girl Scouts do it or not, but I was a Boy Scout, and I was very, very proud of those years. There were some very hard years for me in there, but at the same time, this is where I learned how to retire a flag, how to fold a flag, how to respect the flag, and what it stands for. And so that's the kind of information I want to give you right now. And as a United States Marine, it's even more so. I was able to educate some people in there as well who didn't know about it. So, how do you retire a flag? Well, you got 4 options to do that. All of these options revolve around respect and dignity of the flag. Make sure that whatever you're doing to do this, to do it in a respectful and dignified manner, because that's what this flag stands for. So the first option you have, if you don't want to do it yourself, is there's actually like 3 options if you don't want to do it yourself. The first one, though, is to take it to a Veterans of Foreign Wars post or an American Legion post. Those men and women there know what they're doing, and they're awesome. You know, I've met a few of them before, and they're just simply amazing individuals who have served this country and still have the heart to do so. God bless you guys. The second one is to burn the flag. Now remember, I said to respect and dignify the flag. That's not my words. That's coming from the Flag Code and the Boy Scouts of America. As long as you're respecting it and dignifying it, you may burn the flag. There are ceremonies, and there's actually a script that you can go by too on their website. I'll try to put a link in here that you can go to see about that. The thing is that there's different kinds of ways to burn it, but my preferred method is, or the way that we've done it before in the Boy Scouts, is we cut out the Union, right? We cut out the Union, and we set that to the side. And then we cut out each individual stripe. And then together, we burn them in a ceremonial fashion, whether we put the red stripes together, the white stripes, or all the stripes together, and then the Union was separate. It was still a ceremonious event. Something that was to be remembered in a good way. Okay, so that third option that you have is to do it yourself. All my DIYers out there, what you can do is, per the manual again, you can come down here and cut the flag. Don't cut into the Union. You never cut the Union out. Or sorry, you never cut into the Union. Cut it horizontally. Sorry, vertically, because this flag would originally be standing up the other way. Cut it this way and cut it this way. That'll be known as horizontally. Both ways, you're cutting that Union out. And what that does is it separates the flag from itself, so it's no longer deemed a flag. It's no longer deemed that symbol of freedom and liberty and justice. That way you can take it all, and it's going to sound bad, but you can throw it in the trash at that point in time because you have disassembled it. It's no longer a flag again, but make sure you do that in a dignified and respectful manner. Notice they keep saying those words. There's also a ceremony that you can do for that as well. Same thing as burning, respectfully and dignified. Even though it's the trash, it can still be respected and dignified. And the reason that some people may do that as compared to burning is because nylon, or the flags now are made with petroleum-based products that allow it to withstand the elements of the weather. So if you burn a petroleum-based product, you're going to put some harmful gases out there. Some people have a problem with that, others don't. That's why burning it is one thing, but if you have maybe a cotton flag won't do that. So if you're dealing with a nylon flag, maybe the trash is the best option. Still have a ceremony for it. That's some of the differences. So that's your third option, is to do it yourself. The fourth option is to find a company that would do it for you, that recycles flags, or maybe they do it on the side just because that's patriotic. It's something that some people don't know how to do, so they take it upon themselves to help the American public out. There may be a fee involved, probably not that big. It all depends on why are you getting rid of the American flag, and if you're willing to pay a little bit of money when you got these red stripes on here that have paid for so much more. I'm just saying. Okay, so there's a way that I've displayed this flag, and this is the last thing I'll talk about, and I'll tell you a story. You always put what's called the Union up here. You always put that in the top left. That's the way you always display it, top left. Now, if I had it in this direction, you could also see that the Union would be in the top left. This is how it's originally flown, but it can also be displayed like this. Just make sure it's always in the top left. I was going through Winston one day with my wife, and she's going to go shopping in one other store, and I saw this one store. I'm not going to say which one because it doesn't matter. If you're going in there to tell somebody about a flag, then it's about a flag. It's not about a storefront, right, or a person. So I told my wife, I'll meet you in there in a minute, and I'm going to go in here to the store and talk to this manager about the flag if they have displayed them properly, because the Union was on the right, top right, instead of the top left. And this flag had been in there. I thought, God knows how long that flag had been in there for. Excuse me. I went up to the clerk at the counter, and I was respectful and courteous, and I asked the lady, hey, can I speak with your manager? I'd like to talk to her about the display of the flag out front. She kind of looked at me weird. Now notice I didn't go in there and was like, oh, you're displaying the flag wrong, and the United States Code says this, and you're wrong, and your manager's wrong, and your store doesn't deserve to be here because you're not American. No. Excuse me, hey, can I talk to your manager about displaying the flag up here? There's some concerns I have with it. You know, something just nice and courteous, something that will get people wanting to talk to you, you know? She said, okay. You could tell it was an odd request, and she went to go back to get her manager. Manager came out, super sweet lady, and she listened to everything I said. I don't know if I was laying it on too much or too less, or she listened though with me. She bared in, and I was telling her pretty much the exact same thing I was just telling you guys about how it's supposed to be displayed in top left. That's per flag code. And then I asked her if I could step up on her display and turn it around for her. Just a simple act. You know, I was going to do it. And she said, well, we're about to close here in about 10 minutes anyway, so we're going to need to take it down anyway. I was like, well, would you allow me to help you do that? She said, absolutely. So I get up there and I take the flag down for her. And the next thing that runs through my mind is, okay, the flag's down. It's got to be stored somewhere. Is it going to be stored properly? And the next answer in my head was probably not. And so I asked the lady, I said, do you know how to properly fold the flag? And she says, no, I didn't know there was a proper way to fold a flag. So I showed her. And I asked her to hold one end. We folded it, and we folded it again. We flipped it over. And I had the end where you start folding. While I was folding, I was telling her a little bit about the flag history, and a little bit about this, and a little bit about that. And I was telling her once we got to the end why you want the blue to be showing. And that's to cover up the blood and sacrifices that we made, so you're giving everybody proper burial, essentially. And I flipped it over, and that thing tucked right in perfectly on the tail end back there. And I was able to give the flag to her. I said, thank you for allowing me to come in here and help you take down your flag and fold it properly. She said, well, thank you so much for coming in here and doing that. I had no idea that we were displaying it wrong. So that's a little story. Just have a little bit of courage if you're struggling with that kind of thing. Just go in there and it's like, hey, did you know your flag's displayed incorrectly? Or can I talk to you about how the flag's displayed out here? How can you, talking to you now, how can you make this nation a better place by doing just simple acts of something like that? Simple acts of kindness, doing something for somebody else, helping educate them. Because let me tell you something. When naturalized citizens come in, what do they have to do? I'll answer that for you. They got to take a test. In that test is a civics portion. And I just looked at it, and question 52, let me look at it right here so I don't steer you wrong. Question 52 says, what do we show loyalty to during the Pledge of Allegiance? What do we show loyalty to during the Pledge of Allegiance? And they can give one of two answers. They can say the United States, or they can say the flag. So even people coming in from outside the country who are requesting to be a part of the United States as a citizen need to know to respect the flag. It's a big part. There's 100 questions on that naturalization test, or on the civics part of it actually, and they can be asked up to 10 questions, is what it says there on that government site. And one of those could be one of those questions. And questions 96, 97, and 98 all have to do with the flag. How many stars are there on it? What do the 13 stripes stand for? And I think there's another one. Ultimately, being an American, you have to know what you're an American for. If you're flying a tattered flag, that's your freedom. But as someone who's very passionate about the flag, what do I see that freedom as? I've seen a lot of tattered flags flying, and there's some people you can talk to, and there's others that you can't talk to. And that's the limb that you go out on when, like when I would go talk to the store lady. She's probably very professional because that was her business, and it seemed like that was her nature anyway. But maybe you're going to someone's private residence, or maybe a school or something like that, and you're talking to somebody who doesn't care. But that's just the nature of things, and you got to do your best to go out there and try to talk to people. But ultimately, flying a flag, it takes pride, it takes diligence, but it stands for respect and dignity. And that's the things that I value in life. That's what I want my kids to experience when they grow up. That's what the kind of attitude I want my kids to give other people when they grow up. I want them to see this flag. I'm like, yeah, my dad stood up for that thing, and this is why he did it. And I hope they carry that forward. I hope it's not a rude thing, but at the same time, you got to stand for something. What are you standing for? Let me share the American Creed with you before we get off of here. The American Creed, it was written in 1917 and accepted by the U.S. House of Representatives in 1918 of April. And it says, by William Tyler Page, I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed. A democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon these principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe, listen to this now, I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies. So, where do you stand? Y'all, thanks for listening to this. I hope it didn't go on too much of a rant, but it's something I'm passionate about. And so I'm thankful that y'all decided to join me today and go out there and make a difference in the world and the nation. And let's do this thing together. Stay united, y'all.